Welcome to this teaching video presented by Recovery Alliance and Mothers Love Mansfield. We want you to know, you are not alone. We are here for you. Our goal is transforming lives through Bible-based discipleship. This session is part of our series, Understanding Me and My Family, where we explore the influences that have shaped who we are today. In this video, we study our family role, how they develop, and how you can heal from them. In every family or group, people naturally fall into patterns of behavior. Think about a group of friends. There is often the serious one, the funny one, the responsible one, or the one who gets blamed. These patterns are not random. They develop over time as ways to cope, connect, or survive. In healthy environments, these roles remain flexible. However, in stressful or dysfunctional families, these roles become rigid. Over time, people begin to rely on them not just as behaviors, but as identities. This leads to a critical truth that must be understood. Who you are may not be the same as the role you learn to play. Family roles are survival strategies, not permanent identities. They help people cope with stress, conflict, fear, or instability, but over time, they can limit emotional growth, damage relationships, and distort self-worth. Take a moment to think about the groups you have been part of. Who is usually the serious one? Who is the funny one? Who gets blamed? Who avoids conflict? When families experience stress, trauma, addiction, conflict, or instability, individuals unconsciously adapt. These adaptations form roles that help maintain some level of order, even if the deeper problems are never addressed. These roles reduce tension temporarily, hide deeper issues, and create a sense of predictability. Yet over time, they also shape identity in unhealthy ways, affect adult relationships, and reinforce emotional wounds. There are 6 common roles that develop within families: the hero, the scapegoat, the lost child, the caretaker, the controller, and the avoider. Each role serves a purpose, but each also carries long-term effects. The hero is the one who tries to hold everything together. They often become high-achieving, responsible, and driven. On the surface, they appear successful, but internally, they carry pressure and fear. They operate from the belief, if I do everything right, everything will be okay. This role often develops in response to chaos. By succeeding, the hero attempts to bring stability and make the family appear functional. They are naturally drawn to environments where hard work is rewarded, excellence is recognized, and structure and goals are clear. As a result, they often pursue careers such as doctor, nurse, lawyer, teacher, business executive, engineer, or accountant. These roles allow them to feel valuable through performance and maintain a sense of control. However, this comes at a cost. Over time, the hero may experience anxiety, burnout, perfectionism, fear of failure, and difficulty resting. This invites reflection. Do you feel pressure to perform or succeed? Do you struggle to rest or ask for help? Do you connect your worth to what you accomplish? The scapegoat is the one who carries the blame for the family's problems. Even when they are not truly at fault, they are often labeled as the problem. Over time, this label begins to shape how they see themselves and how others respond to them. What may appear on the surface as anger, rebellion, or acting out is often something much deeper. These behaviors are not random. They are expressions of pain that has not been acknowledged. In many ways, the scapegoat gives voice to what others in the family avoid. They act out what others refuse to face. As this pattern continues, a core belief begins to form. Something is wrong with me. This belief can become deeply rooted, influencing decisions, relationships, and identity. Yet at the same time, the very traits that develop in response to this role also carry strength. Because of this, the scapegoat is often drawn to paths where they can speak truth, challenge norms, and confront injustice. They are not afraid to question what others accept, and they often feel a strong pull toward authenticity and change. This can lead them into roles such as entrepreneurship, creative fields like art, music, or writing, as well as advocacy, social work, or first responder positions such as police or firefighter. These roles provide an outlet for expression, purpose, and impact. The reason these paths fit so naturally is because they allow the scapegoat to channel pain into something meaningful, into passion, creativity, or justice. However, the long-term impact of this role can be significant. Many struggle with shame and low self-worth, carry unresolved anger, and develop a deep distrust of authority. Emotional wounds may remain unhealed for years. Yet it is important to recognize that within this role also lies strong potential. When healing begins, the same person who once felt like the problem can become a powerful voice for truth, growth, and leadership. This creates an opportunity for honest reflection. Do you feel blamed or misunderstood? Do you act out when overwhelmed? Have you been labeled in a way that has stayed with you? The lost child learns to cope not by taking control or stepping forward, but by disappearing, emotionally or physically. Rather than engaging with conflict or drawing attention, they withdraw, stay quiet, and try not to cause problems. Over time, this creates a belief that shapes how they see themselves and the world around them. It's safer if I don't need anything. At first, this strategy provides protection. By staying out of the way, they avoid conflict, tension, and emotional pain. However, while this may reduce stress in the moment, it also comes with a hidden cost. Avoiding conflict often leads to disconnection, not only from others, but from themselves as well. Because of this, the lost child is naturally drawn to environments that feel safe and predictable. They prefer settings that are quiet, structured, and independent, where there is little emotional intensity or confrontation. This often leads them into roles such as IT work, programming, or development, as well as writing, editing, or research-based careers. They may also be drawn to positions like librarian, archivist, lab technician, or remote and freelance work. These roles allow them to function without needing to engage deeply on an emotional level, creating a sense of safety and control. While these environments can feel comfortable, they can also reinforce patterns of isolation. Over time, the long-term impact may begin to surface. The lost child may struggle to express emotions, feel increasingly isolated, or begin to believe they are unseen or unimportant. Connection becomes difficult, and relationships may feel distant or overwhelming. This creates an important moment for reflection. Do you withdraw when things get stressful? Do you avoid expressing your needs? Do you feel invisible in relationships? While the hero manages chaos through achievement, the caretaker manages it through people. The caretaker focuses on everyone else's needs, trying to keep peace, fix problems, and make sure others are okay. They believe, it's my job to keep everyone happy. This role often develops when adults in the home are emotionally unstable, forcing the child to grow up too quickly. Caretakers are drawn to roles where they can support, heal, and serve. This often leads them into occupations such as nursing, counseling, teaching, ministry, or customer service. These roles align with their identity of being needed and helpful. Yet over time, the impact can be significant. Burnout, lack of boundaries, people-pleasing, and a loss of self are common outcomes. This leads to important questions. Do you feel responsible for others' emotions? Do you say yes when you want to say no? Do you feel guilty putting yourself first? In contrast, the controller copes with instability by creating order. They manage anxiety through control, establishing rules, enforcing structure, and trying to prevent chaos. They feel safest when everything is predictable. Their belief is, if I don't control things, everything will fall apart. This role forms in environments where instability creates fear and control becomes the only path to safety. Controllers are drawn to environments where rules are clear, authority is respected, and structure is strong. They often step into roles such as managers, supervisors, military personnel, business owners, or administrators. These roles provide opportunities to create order and reduce chaos. However, the long-term effects often include anxiety, rigidity, difficulty trusting others, and strained relationships. This raises reflection. Do you struggle with uncertainty? Do you feel the need to manage everything? Do you react strongly when things don't go your way? While some cope through control or responsibility, the avoider copes by disconnecting. They avoid conflict, emotions, and difficult conversations. Their belief is, if I don't deal with it, it won't hurt me. Although avoidance may reduce immediate stress, it allows problems to grow over time. Avoiders are drawn to roles that are independent, routine-based, and low in confrontation. This includes jobs such as delivery driving, warehouse work, freelance or technical roles, or repetitive tasks with minimal interaction. These environments help them avoid emotional intensity. However, the cost includes stagnation, disengagement, emotional disconnection, avoidance of intimacy, unresolved conflict, and difficulty facing reality. This invites reflection. Do you avoid conflict or hard conversations? Do you shut down emotionally? Do you distract yourself instead of dealing with problems? Which role do you play? Most people relate to more than one role, but one or two usually dominate. Consider these questions. Where do you see yourself most clearly? Which patterns show up in your daily life? Which role feels hardest to admit? Which role do I relate to most? How did this role help me survive? How is it affecting me today? What would healing look like? Healing. Moving from roles to identity. Each role forms around a core wound, a belief shaped by experience. Healing begins when we replace that belief with truth. The hero learned that love, approval, or stability came through performance. Over time, this created the belief my worth depends on how well I perform. This results in a life driven by pressure, where even success never feels like enough. Healing begins with a new truth. Your worth is not something you earn. It is something you already have. You are valuable not because of what you do, but because of who you are. In practice, this means learning to rest without guilt, accepting help from others, and being honest about struggles. The scapegoat often grew up being blamed or labeled, leading to the belief I am the problem. Healing begins by separating identity from behavior. You are not your mistakes, and you are not the labels placed on you. Healing involves expressing pain instead of acting it out, releasing false labels, and embracing truth over shame. Reflection questions include: what labels have you believed? What are you feeling underneath your reactions? What would it look like to respond instead of react? The lost child learned that being quiet or invisible reduced stress, forming the belief, my needs don't matter. Healing begins with truth. You are seen. You matter. Your voice has value. This involves speaking up in small ways, building safe relationships, and expressing needs clearly. Reflection includes: when do you choose silence? What are you afraid of? What need can you express this week? The caretaker learned to manage others' emotions, forming the belief, I must keep everyone happy. Healing requires embracing this truth. You are responsible for your life, not everyone else's. You can care for people without carrying them. This means setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and prioritizing your well-being. The controller developed in response to chaos, forming the belief, everything depends on me. Healing begins with letting go. You are not in control of everything, and you don't have to be. Safety comes from trust, not control. This involves releasing outcomes, listening more than directing, and accepting uncertainty. The avoider learned that avoiding pain felt safe, forming the belief, avoiding pain keeps me safe. Healing begins with truth. Avoiding pain delays healing. Facing it leads to freedom. This involves facing emotions gradually, staying present, and engaging in difficult conversations. No role is good or bad. Every role develops for a reason. Each has strengths and weaknesses. The hero is responsible but can become burned out. The scapegoat is bold but can become reactive. The lost child is independent but can become isolated. The caretaker is compassionate but can become codependent. The controller is organized but can become rigid. The avoider is calm but can become emotionally distant. In conclusion, you can choose who you will become. You may have learned a role to survive. That role may have helped you at one time, but now you have a choice. You are not limited to who you had to be. You can choose who you will become. Thank you for watching. If you would like more information on how you can participate in this ministry, contact us at motherslovemansfield@gmail.com or recoveryalliancemansfield@gmail.com. Be sure to like and share this video.